सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. We always say Sadgurunath Maharaj ki jai because the Sadguru, the true master, is something or someone with whom we want to become one with. So the Guru is the supreme principle of grace. He cannot be understood unless the time has come for a person to make this journey within. Souls come into this world through different forms. So each one of us has got this human body. But before that, we must have traveled through the mineral kingdom. In the mineral kingdom, the finest specimen is the crystal, because crystals grow. Crystals understand energy. So we must have become minerals, become crystals, then we have migrated into the vegetable kingdom or the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom. So as we progress, in each kingdom there is greater freedom. Stone cannot move by itself. Plants grow, but they remain rooted to a particular place. Animals can move, but they do not have discretion. They are caught up in their swabhava. Whatever God has given, that particular nature, that animal will display. So a lion will know how to kill, how to trap the prey, and how to overpower the prey. And a cow knows there is such innocence in the eyes. She gives milk, she is nurturing. All the gods and goddesses reside in the cow. But every animal is trapped in their own swabhava, their own nature. They don't go. A cow cannot start behaving like the lion, and a lion will not start behaving like the cow. So it is only in the human body that there is something called discretion. We have a choice. So when we are having this body, we have infinite choices, and each moment we are making a choice. Whatever we do in every moment, that is going to determine who we become, or that is who we are and what we are going to become in the future. And the sequence is very clear, because humans can think. So there is this sequence that be aware of your thoughts, because they will become your words. Be aware of your words, because they will become your actions. Be aware of your actions, because the actions will become your habits. Somebody starts having an ice cream every day in the evening. Soon it will become a habit. It will be a pattern which will be difficult to break. Somebody is in the habit of asserting himself or herself through anger, through shouting. It will become a habit. So mind your habits because they will become your character. If somebody has started being angry all the time in this life, sure enough he will or she will be born with that trait in the next lifetime. It has become a sanskar, becomes your character. And the character will decide what your destiny is. So small choices that we make, that freedom is available to a human being. And that is why it is only in the human body we can become free. Devatas cannot become free. They are in the bhogyoni. They are to enjoy. But freedom does not belong to devatas. Freedom belongs only to the human, in the human body. So getting a chance to be born on this planet Earth in the human form is a great gift because it gives us with the choice to change our lives. Now, everybody is bound by whatever he or she has done in past lives, bound by their sanskars, their impressions that they are carrying. And this is how this drama unfolds. In the human body, when we are born, we want to experience everything. Shiva has become this Jeev because he wanted to experience the variety in this world. So, our attention goes outside. So we want to enjoy food, we want to enjoy shelter, we want to enjoy sex, we want to enjoy prestige, we want to enjoy leadership, skills, knowledge, we want to enjoy appreciation. And all this happens because one is always searching for happiness. A person thinks that if I marry, if I have a wife or a husband, I will be happy. If I have children, I will be happy. Okay, there is great happiness when a child is born, but suppose that child is not doing things in the right manner, then that child itself becomes a source of great suffering. Wife and husband are having a great relationship, but then differences start coming up, the relationship becomes stale, the joy goes out, it becomes suffering. This drama goes on and on. And after hundreds of lifetimes of looking for happiness on the outside, is a soul be ready to turn within? And that is the inflection point. That when a soul is ready to turn within, then the Guru appears. Otherwise, there is this constant drama going on. We create something, it is maintained, and then that is dissolution, it dissolves because everything out in the outside world has a limited shelf life. It will pass, it will go away. So we were born in a body, we lose this body, we get into another body, another relationship. Because of the karma that we have, we choose a particular womb to be born, or a mother agrees to lend her womb to a soul to be born. We have our siblings, everybody, the wife or the spouse, everybody is there in our lives because we have had some very intimate karma with them. But there is a sense of possession. One thinks, oh, my wife, my husband, my son, my brother, my job. Though the fact of the matter is that everything that happens is a play of consciousness, asking the soul to learn certain lessons that it has refused to learn. But the real understanding comes only when the Guru arrives in our lives. And that is why it is said that, God has 5 functions. Normally we think of 3 functions: creation, maintenance, and dissolution. But there is a 4th function which is called nigraha or concealment. So God has hidden himself or herself in the heart of every being. But we are blissfully unaware of that divine presence because we have not looked within. So how does that happen? How do we see God, or how do we understand God? It is only when the 5th function of God starts unfolding in our soul journey, and that is anugraha. So nigraha is removed only with the help of anugraha. And anugraha God does not do himself. That power is delegated to the Guru. That is why we should have a master. When we meet a Guru, then something starts unfolding. And the beauty of the Guru is that in every relationship, if it is happy, if it is good, we want it to linger on a little more. We want to taste the juice a little more. But Guru is the only person who is not a person. He has a human body, no doubt, but he has attained the divine. He has reached the goal of his life. So within the body, he is without the body. He is without form, without attribute. Of course, because he has a form, he has certain attributes, the way he talks, the way he walks, the way he eats, the way he handles a rose, the way he hugs a person. Everything has some quality, and the person is, we are attracted to the Guru for some reason. But he has a responsibility bigger than himself. People think that the Guru is creating a cult, a following, a this and that, but fact of the matter is that the Guru is like the proverbial gardener. When the sapling is planted, it is soft, delicate, it's vulnerable. The gardener creates a fence around it, protects it, nurtures it. But when the sapling starts becoming a tree, the roots start getting stronger. The gardener knows that the roots know how to go down deep into the ground and figure out where the nourishment lies. The roots of a tree know where the water source is, and they automatically start growing in that direction. So, when the gardener knows that it has no survival issues, no problems, now it is out of the reach of any animal, a cow cannot come and eat it away, then he stops taking care of that plant, leaves it, because he has other plants to nurture, he has other saplings to plant. So this is the Guru. He creates, he kindles something in your heart. And when the light is enough to lead you on, he leaves you. From there on, it is your journey. Because a Guru makes a Guru. The Guru is not interested in making disciples. And this is where people make a mistake sometimes. They want to hang on to the Guru. They want to keep the Guru in their clutches as if the Guru is their property. Guru is nobody's property. And the purpose is totally divine, because it is only the Guru who is going to give you freedom. Make a Guru. So in my life, in this lifetime, there have been other lifetimes too. But in this lifetime, the drama unfolded in a very peculiar way. I had this thought. I had been a good student. I had cleared a tough civil services exam, done this, done that. So there was this great arrogance. The thought that I can solve anything, I know everything, I know much. But then there came a time in my life when I was 29, 30, a little over 30. This thought suddenly arose. Who am I? And what is my purpose in life? And then suddenly this question became so predominant that the joy went out of my life. I was doing quite well in my job. I had a wonderful family, great wife, wonderful friends, great parties happening all the time. And yet, I used to feel distant. And then the realization came that I am not enjoying, which everybody else is enjoying. And while doing the job, there were some experiences where I was told very bluntly by my colleagues that, oh, you are an idiot, you are a fool, you don't know how to be an officer. So I used to think that there must be something wrong with me, because of which I cannot be as ruthless or as heartless as others are. That is the way of the world, that is what is needed to be successful. So there was a dilemma. I had no clear answers. And this churning went on for 3 years. I did not share it with anybody. And I did not even share it with my wife because I thought she is going to laugh at me. But the questions were real. There were times when I would get up in the middle of the night and start pondering. And all my knowledge, all the intellectual ability that I thought I had, it was unable to give me any clear answer to these two questions. Who am I? And what is my purpose in life? Well, in fact, another question was, why am I not happy? Things which make other people very happy, they don't even touch me. I wonder what is happening. And then something started unfolding. There was an elderly chartered accountant who used to appear before me for work. And somehow he had developed a kind of affection for me. And he was very closely associated with Sri Satyanarayan Goenkaji, who had launched this Vipassana movement. And he had become a great meditator. And every year, sometimes during Diwali, around Diwali, he would bring some small gift, give it to me. So this time he brought a book. And the book had a title, Light on the Path. And he had got my name embossed on the book in golden letters. And with great flourish he gave me the book and he said, this is for you. This year we are not giving any other gifts, we are handing out this book. I said, what is this book about? So he said it is about a person, I think his name was William Hart, who attended a course in Vipassana. And after doing Vipassana, all his questions dissolved. He had some great breakthroughs. So he has written this book. But I was always getting this kind of a negative feedback about myself from some of my colleagues and other people. So I still remember that I got a little upset seeing the title of the book, Light on the Path. I said, my God, Mr. Vikamsi, I don't want to have this book. What will this book do? It will tell that you be good, you be nice. I don't want to be nice. If you have a book, bring a book that will tell me how to be mean. Because that is what is appreciated in the world. So he started laughing and he said, look, I have got your name embossed on this book. I cannot give it to anybody else. And all the time when he would be passing through the corridor and he would see that I am posted my nameplate, he would see, then he would drop in and he would say, coffee pillow, coffee pillow. So he would have a cup of coffee and go away. 3-4 times a year he would come and grace me with his presence for some time, go away. And then he would bring some small gift at Diwali time. So he said, are you not going to give me my coffee? So I said, no, coffee always, but I don't want this book. So I got him this coffee and then he said, I'm leaving it on your table. After I go away, you can throw it out of the window. And he walked away. I read the book because on one weekend I did not have anything else to read. It was really amazing how this gentleman, when he took the course in Vipassana and he came out of it, he realized that this world is perfect as it is. But he did not see perfection in this world because his vision was imperfect. And Vipassana itself means seeing more clearly, Vipassana. So when that clear vision arose, then the vision of perfection came with that. Then there was another thing that on the very first page of this book, as you open, there was this, in bold letters it was written, this famous quote from Buddha, Apa Deepo Bhava. Be your own lamp. And the arrogant person I was, it was a very nice statement because I believe that I can solve anything. I am my own lamp. So I just tried to register myself for a Vipassana program. To cut the long story short, twice I registered, but each time something or the other came up in the office, which was important, and my bosses said, don't go. You can do it another time. But my time had come. So there was a lady working with me in my office. She was my stenographer, or private secretary, whatever you may call. One day she told me, I have my Guru my Swami Chidvilasanand. And she came into my dream one night and she told me that you bring your boss to Gurudev Siddhapit. And this lady had worked with me for a few years We knew each other quite well, but I did not take it seriously. And I just brushed it aside because I was having this thought that all gurus are running business establishments. They are in the business of expanding their power and wealth because they have some disciples who are in high positions or they are rich. They can spend money. So twice I had applied for Vipassana, I could not go there. My questions were still there. And after trying her luck with me, my steno brought another lady who was working in our department in a junior position. And when this lady walked into my room, I was very impressed at first sight because I had not seen a woman like that kind of bearing, that self-confidence, and that personality of a yogi. I had never seen somebody like that. But she came into my room and she gave me a beautiful smile and said, हमारे गुरुदेव सिद्धपीठ में आपका स्वागत है. And my mind just came alive. I had been born and brought up in UP in a very conservative environment. I was always very conscious of ladies. And then my mind told me, how can she be so over-friendly just like that? And then the answer came up, the Guru must have hypnotized. So whatever she told me about going to Gurudev Siddhapit, I was not listening because I had developed this kind of resistance to her. And she talked to me for a while, then she went away. Come next Monday. She entered my room, I was writing some report or doing something, and she must have come running up or whatever. She was panting and so excited, and with great flourish, she took out a book from her bag and she said, "Sir, you don't know. Yesterday in Darshan I told Gurumai about you." And I said, she said in Hindi कि हमारे ऑफिस में एक साहब है, हमको लगता है उसको इधर आना चाहिए लेकिन उसका संयोग नहीं बनता है. And then she said, आप तो बहुत भाग्यशाली हैं. I wonder if Janine is there. She is not there. So I can speak in Hindi. हाँ, तो आप तो बहुत भाग्यशाली हैं. बिना मिले हुए गुरुदेव ने आपके लिए पुस्तक भेजी है. तो जब मैंने बताया गुरुमाई को तो उन्होंने कहा कि हाँ उसको अपने साहब को बाबा का किताब दे दो. तो गुरुमाई's Guru Baba Muktanand wrote his spiritual autobiography, which in Hindi is called Chit Shakti Vilas, and in English it is called Play of Consciousness. So she took out that book and placed it on my table. I just took it very casually. And I thought this job is done, now she'll go away, but she stood there. So after a few seconds I looked up at her and asked her what next, because I wanted to finish off the report that I was doing. And then she said, गुरुमाई ने बोला अगर तुम्हारा साहब इस बुधवार को आएगा तो अच्छा है. For some reason, the resentment I had or the inhibitions I had about the Guru, they just took a back seat. And I heard myself telling her, अच्छा आपके गुरु ने बोला है तो हम जाएंगे. Then she asked me, कैसे जाएंगे? So these two ladies had told me that the ashram is very beautiful. It is like a 5-star place, and then the people are offered accommodation. Accommodation is free, no charge for the accommodation. Some 10 rupees is to be, a coupon is taken which takes care of the morning breakfast, lunch, and evening dinner. So my mind was calculating and see how the mind works. I told her that, look, since the ashram is very beautiful, I would like to take my wife and son there sometimes. But not this Wednesday because that is my son is going to school. So I will take my car and go and see the route so that the next time, another time when I have to take my wife along, it is easier. So she said, okay, so you may not know the route, so do you mind if I come with you? Now again this was a kind of barrier. I never wanted to travel with a lady whom I didn't know. And then my steno walked in suddenly, and when she realized that we were planning to go, I was planning to go, then she said, sir, I will meet you outside Borivali National Park. And my children really love going to the ashram. So it will be nice if you take me along. And I was comfortable with her because she had been working with me for a few years. So this is how it worked out. In my car, these two ladies and the two kids of my stenographer, we all went to Ganeshpur. And there, first we went to the Samadhi of Baba Nityanand, who was my guru's guru's guru. And they said that, oh, सब कुछ तो इधर से आया है, वहाँ पहले चलते हैं. ठीक है. So when we reached there, I had never been to a shrine, or I was not a temple person ever. So then they said, let us buy some coconut, etc. to offer. I did not know the significance of the coconut offering. But I told them, I have given my day to you two ladies, so I will do whatever you say. So I took a coconut, went to the Samadhi, offered it, and I sat down. And something happened to me. My awareness turned within, and I saw this life of mine in a kind of a video in the fast forward mode. And I began to see that I had such great parents. They did not have money, that they gave me good education, good habits. I had such wonderful friends, such great teachers who shaped me into what I had become. Wonderful wife, great colleagues. I had lost my parents early. I had great brothers who supported me, took care of me. And when all this started unfolding and I began to see it happen, how it happened, then first time this realization came that I had been a very ungrateful person. I had never thanked anyone or God for what I had in my life, the blessings I had got. And all these 32, 33 years, I had been a beggar, so to say. So whenever something was given, I just lapped it up and then put my begging bowl again, asking for more. I had never thanked. And for the first time, I started looking at my blessings and thanking God for what I had, how I had been treated. And it was a very moving experience. On the inside, my heart had melted. I was crying. And these two ladies had their darshan, because there in that samadhi, men sit on one side, women sit on the other, so they had their darshan. When they went outside, they kept waiting for some time. I didn't come out. Then one of them came and shook me by the shoulder and said, Saab, chalo, we have to go and have darshan there. Guru Mai's darshan. Uske liye aaye. So with great reluctance I got up, because something had moved inside me already. Then we came to Gurudev Siddhapit, the ashram which was created by Baba Muktanand, my Guru's Guru. So at that time, that at the entrance itself there used to be a reception, so everybody had to go there, register themselves. So I went there, and these two ladies told the receptionist that, ye hamare sahab hai, aisa hai, waisa hai. So what this lady did was that she opened the counter for me and said, you come and sit inside the room, and we will find somebody who can take you around. And then she told these two ladies, you have brought him here, it's fine, we will take care of him. From now on, you go. 4 o'clock in the evening, when it is time to go, you collect him from here only. This reception. So I was sitting there in that reception, and there were some books lying there. But there was a beautiful brochure, which I later realized it is called the Swan brochure. So there was a beautiful picture of a swan on the front. And I just flipped through the pages. In the middle there were three beautiful pictures of Guru Mai, Swami Chidvilasana. And there was an excerpt from a talk given by her. I have never forgotten what was written there, because it was for me and it was about me. Guru Mai had said in her talk, no matter how good your life is, no matter how well your business or profession is run, no matter how many friends you have, no matter how many parties you give. I was very fond of parties. There comes a time in your life when you start wondering what is happening on the inside. And then, even without realizing it, you make room for a spiritual experience. And when I have not forgotten these words, they are imprinted on my heart, because they tell me my story. And then there was this sense of shock and disbelief. I said, oh my God, what is it that is happening to me? Why have I been brought here? That in Samadhi of Bhagavan Nityananda I had this experience of being an ungrateful person, and I started counting my blessings, and here at the threshold of this ashram I am being made to read these words. Is there some divine conspiracy that has brought me here? So what happened, that I was lost in some kind of thought, wondering what has happened. And then one trustee arrived, and she said, come, it is my job to take you around. So once a person enters, then there is a temple of Bhagavan Nityanand, there is this statue, there is a hall. So she took me there, and there were pictures of the Guru, pictures from the lineage. And she kept introducing me because I was hearing these names for the first time, seeing those pictures for the first time. And then she said, "Look, you have come to the Guru's abode. The most important thing is to meet the Guru. But Guru Mai will come out for darshan only at about 10. So you still have half an hour, 40 minutes. So until then, you sit in the samadhi of Baba Muktananda. It is very nice there." So she took me to the samadhi, which is adjoining this area, and left me there. I sat down, I did a parikrama of the samadhi and sat down. And while I was sitting there, that samadhi has a wonderful environment. It is very quiet. In most places people talk, but in this samadhi, nobody is allowed to talk. Even when people go with the small children, there are monitors who say that please keep them quiet. And there is such energy there that children don't make noise. So I was sitting there, and again my awareness turned within. The judgmental person that I was, I used to think I am always right and everybody else is wrong. But for once I began to see all my shortcomings. We have this wonderful tableau or procession of tableaus on the Republic Day in India. And there it was, like seeing through a procession. My own greed, my own ungratefulness, my lust, my desires, and everything will come, each tableau will come with a song and dance of its own, and then go away. But there was a recognition that this is inside me, but this is not me. And then gradually everything faded. And I went into a quiet space. I was sitting. And I came back into this outside awareness only when this trustee came and she shook me and said, "Look, Guru Mai is giving darshan. Let's go." And when I got up, and I came out of took the steps to come out of the samadhi, I realized something, that there was something that has opened my heart, and I felt drunk. It was a sense of joy, which I could not put my finger on. I always used to love a nice glass of wine. And this thought arose that there is no wine in this world which is as intoxicating as what I am experiencing in this moment. So I was taken before Guru Mai, she was giving darshan. And I was immediately, this rational mind, the so-called rational mind, came back. So the first thought was, oh my God, she is a lady. Oh my God, she is younger to me. What is it that she will teach me? Perhaps I can teach her a few things. And I went up to her and I tried to introduce myself. Because there is a line, so people have darshan at the padukas with ticket. where few people are allowed to go up to her, so I was allowed to go there, and I tried to introduce myself. And Guru Mai looked at me and said, "Kutumb kidhar hai?" So I told her कि आज तो बुधवार है, बच्चे का स्कूल है, तो परिवार को नहीं लाया हूँ, फिर लाऊंगा. And she pointed to a carpet which was put on the side and said, "So udhar baitho." So I sat there and I was watching the drama of darshan. What miffed me was that there was no talk of self-realization, no pravachan, nothing. Most people who came up to the Guru had some worldly issues. Somebody comes and says, "Oh, Guru Mai, I have built this house. I have to name it. What name should I give?" So she would ask us, what names do you have in mind? So you would give 3 names, 4 names, and she would say, "Okay, give it this name." Somebody comes, "Oh, my son is going to the US to study. Please give him a blessing." And she would just raise her hand and say, "Okay." So all this drama was going on. And I was watching, and I said, "Oh my God, I have got trapped in some wrong place." Because I had these questions, who am I? What is my purpose in life? And here all these worldly things are happening. And then my sense of poverty came up. I was quite a socialist, so rooted in poverty consciousness. So I looked around and there was these, very handsome European or American men and beautiful ladies dressed in saris. And they were hanging around, they were taking care of so many things. And I just looked at them and said, "Oh my God, she is the rich man's guru." That is why she didn't talk to me. She did not ask me, "Why are you here? What is your question?" So I sat, having all these kinds of thoughts. After an hour when darshan was getting over, Guru Mai looked at me and she said, "Go to the cave and meditate." So the cave is a particular place or room where Baba Muktanand actually used to meditate a lot. And in the good old days, it was something where you enter from the top and there was a staircase leading one below. So that is why it was called the cave. But later on they converted it into a room which was at level with the ground. And this was where anybody who wanted to meditate at any time could go and sit. So we had the aarti, then there was lunch which was offered. I was given a room where I could rest for a while. Then another boy came, he took me around to this cave. And I could not meditate there. I was just looking around what others are doing. But after about half an hour or so, I came out, and then I was made to meet a large number of people. Some Indians, mostly foreigners. And what I realized that they were all doing very well in their lives. They had great jobs, great businesses, but after having met the Guru, their lives had transformed to an extent that they had taken 2 years, 3 years, 4 years off to come and serve the Guru in the ashram. So every story, when they shared their own thing, this thought would arise, "Oh my God, it happened to him or it happened to her, it's not going to happen to me." And after meeting all these people, then it was time to go. When I was about to leave, then one Swamiji Swami Madhvanand came. He was the editor of the Hindi magazine that the ashram would bring out. And he said that Guru Mai has said that you should be given an honorary subscription of this magazine for 1 year. So he handed me one copy, which was the latest issue. And he said, this one is yours, 11, you please leave your address, 11 copies you will receive in due time. And then we started back. These ladies were very excited. And they were talking very animatedly about the Guru. And then one of them asked, हमारे गुरु कैसे लगे? So I said कि मैं सच्ची बात बोल दूं? तुम कहाँ बोलो? क्योंकि तुम्हारे गुरु तो फ्रॉड है. मेरे को सवाल का जवाब चाहिए था, वो तो दिया नहीं. बोला इधर बैठो, उधर जाओ, ये क्या है? और उधर क्या था? वो सब तो संसार का व्यापार चल रहा था. तो कुछ अध्यात्म की चर्चा नहीं थी, कोई प्रवचन नहीं, कुछ नहीं. मेरे से तो कुछ पूछा नहीं. और वो अमीर लोगों के गुरु हैं, मेरे को तो इसीलिए इग्नोर कर दिया. बोला इधर बैठो. So then one of them said, लेकिन सर आप तो बाबा की समाधि में ध्यान में चले गए थे. उनका अच्छा, I did not know what is meditation. तुम कहा कि हाँ, हम जा रहे थे दोनों उधर आश्रम में, और तभी देखा कि गुरुमाई जो है एक तरफ से निकल करके दूसरी बिल्डिंग में जा रही थी. तो हम दौड़कर उनके पास गए और उनको बताया हमारा साहब आया है आज. और उन्होंने हंसकर कहा कि हाँ, वो बाबा की समाधि में बैठा है, ध्यान में चला गया है, देखो जाकर के. तो हमने आकर देखा तो आप तो खो गए थे ध्यान में. I felt surprised that this is what had happened, and Guru Mai knew that I was sitting there in the samadhi and I was lost. But I did not take it very seriously at that time. So I came back home. Something had changed. Next morning, I used to sleep till 7:30 because of late night parties. But that morning at 5 o'clock, it was as if I was woken up. And I was guided to a place in my drawing room where there was a carpet. I sat there. And within no time I had gone within. And it was a wonderful feeling that I had. Maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes of self-absorption. But it was wonderful. And then it started happening every day for the next 5-6 days. And it was a wonderful thing because I could have some kind of a fragrance arising from inside, which was very intoxicating. But then something else happened. One day I was sitting in office. Some particular case file which had a lot of issues and a big history, some 300-400 pages, it was brought to me for the first time for resolution of some dispute between our department and an informant that we had. Now, even before I opened that file, I knew its contents. So as I flipped through the pages and I saw that whatever was there, I had somehow grasped it already. My ego knew no bounds. And I said to myself, oh, I have become something, somebody. What my eyes have not seen, I know. And in that very moment, that power disappeared. It was obvious the next morning because I got up at 5, sat there in that corner of the drawing room, and nothing happened. The mind was absolutely restless. I got up, had some water, tried to calm my mind, sat down when I thought the mind had calmed, but there was no respite. So 3-4 days I tried. It was not happening. Then one fine morning, I became desperate. And I said to myself that, look, whatever happened, happened. It was a coincidence. It is not happening anymore. So from tomorrow, I will go back to my old habit of sleeping till 7:30. That day when I reached office, I was a little late. And I was handling some very confidential matters, so my room had to be locked. So only when I would open it, then it would be cleaned. So this was getting cleaned. And suddenly this trustee who had given me company in the ashram, she came looking for me. And immediately I got very upset. I told her that, look, madam, I had not given my address or anything in this office address in the ashram. How come you are here? Why are you here? Because I thought the Guru, it must be part of the Guru's plan to sort of rope in somebody who is in government service or doing something. Whatever, I had my own ideas. And this lady remained unfazed. And she said that, look, last night my father had a heart attack. And he has been admitted to Bombay Hospital. Bombay Hospital and my office used to be very close. So this morning I was coming from the ashram because I have to attend to him. And I had boarded the ashram bus which brings people to Mumbai. But I received a message that Gurumai wants to see me urgently. So the bus was held up, I had to go in. And Gurumai has asked me to give you a message. So she said, she was very particular, she said, I must find you today and give you this message. So I came to the hospital, I saw that my father is not in any danger right now. He's recovering in the ICU. So then I thought of contacting you. I did not know where you are. So I came to the office. I went to the public relations officer, gave him your name, and he immediately guided me to your room. So that is how I am here. And I have to go back to the hospital to take care of my father. So I will be absolutely to the point. And here is the message that Gurumai has given for you. And this is what she said. Gurumai feels that you have been meditating in the mornings ever since you visited the ashram. She also feels that you are not having good meditation anymore. And she also feels that you have decided to give it up. This was something that I had decided that morning. And she says, persevere. If you persevere, you might get something great in this very life. Why do you want to waste one lifetime? It is a very precious gift from God. And then she said, my job is done. And she just said a namaste and walked away. My room had been cleaned. I came and sat in my chair and I started crying. Because I understood what the Guru is. And this thought hit me that if Guru Mai knows that this morning I had decided not that I will not sit for meditation anymore, and if she knows that all these days I had been meditating and she knew what was happening to me, then she would also have known that I had called her a fraud when I was returning from Ganeshpuri. She did not forsake me. In this world, all relationships are built on mutual trust and appreciation and respect. I had no respect for the Guru. And yet the Guru did not forsake me. And then this thought arose that now I am under watch all the time. I have to be really careful. And this was the turning point in my life. I became a disciple. So this is the nature of the Guru. But it is a story of transformation. So time is getting over. So maybe I can continue tomorrow. And it will be worthwhile that there are souls here who have experienced that transformation in their lives. And that is the purpose of the Guru. Guru's love turns into fire very soon, because the Guru has to destroy or burn the ego of the disciple. So any concept, any ideas that you have, those ideas are going to be destroyed. Now the way we are brought up in society, we are all very fond of our ideas. For some people, they are so much attached to that ism that they hold that they would prefer to die rather than give up that thought. But this is what is binding us. This is what makes us Pashu. Pashu does not really mean an animal. Pashu means one who is bound in chains. So we are bound by the chains of our mind. And the Guru comes in our life to give us a freedom from the mind. So much for today. I think I will take one more session tomorrow and talk about transformation, why it is important. Simple things we ask people to do. Some people are very forthcoming, they just should implement it without asking. There are others who are going to resist. So, when the true master comes in your life, then no matter how much you resist, he or she is going to force his or her will on you, because it is for your good and you cannot escape. There is no escape from the Guru if the Guru enters your life. But that for another session. One thing I learned from my Guru, because she told us once, we were asked to do a satsang in Mumbai every Thursday for 1.5 hours. And we were all very new in Siddhi Yoga and we did not know, well, how can we teach? Shall we be able to teach? It became a very successful satsang. But what Guru Mai told us, she said, don't talk about God. You are not living in that experience 24/7. But what is it that you can share? So she said, share about your experience of transformation. Because that is what everybody wants, every soul is wanting. So you share about your transformation honestly. Don't make up things. Don't conjure up something which is not there. You be very authentic and genuine. And then the energy of the fact that you are speaking from your heart, that will be received by others at the level of their hearts. And it will be transforming. So what I have found in my life, that talking about the Guru is one of the most profound things that a person can do to serve others. Because when you talk about your Guru, your heart is overflowing with gratitude. And that is what reaches out to others. Your love is overflowing. And that is what reaches out to others. And they can taste that juice. So I hope that today's, whatever I have shared, I have been able to share some of the juice which I feel in my heart when I remember my Guru. And then she gave the understanding that the Guru is a principle. So there are so many masters who entered my life. But because she brought me, she had this kind of thing to ask me to come to the ashram. She gave me the first experience. She told me that persevere. This life is very rare. Why do you want to waste one lifetime? So I see her in all the Gurus. And I see her in everybody who I come across. Because the thought that is there is that how can I serve? How can I help? How can I share that, my Guru, with that element in which that form that has appeared before me? So much for now. I think we could have meditated for a while if I had stopped earlier. But we'll do that tomorrow. So I will just recite something from the Guru Gita. It's a wonderful text. This is good. See, the Guru Gita says, it is a kind of discourse given by Lord Shankar to Devi Parvati. Explaining the nature of the Guru. Abhyastai sakalai sudhirgamanilai vyadhipradaih dushkarai pranayam shatairanekkaranair dukkhatmakair durjayai yasmin abhyudite vinashyati bali वायुः स्वयं तत्क्षणात् प्राप्तुं तत्सहजं स्वभावमनिशं सेवध्वमेकं गुरुम्. The Lord is explaining that when you can do, so many pranayams are there that you can do to control the prana. But the Guru's presence is such that in his presence the pranayam happens automatically. The control over prana is gained without following these procedures, which if they go wrong, they can create 1,000 sicknesses. If pranayam goes wrong, a person can be damaged in the body and the mind both. But in the presence of the Guru, this natural pranayam is happening. And you are getting control over prana, which every yogi yearns for. The tapasvis yearn for. And how to get it? So he says, do Guru Seva. By serving the Master, you are getting it naturally. Why bother for pranayam? Very difficult procedures. Then he says, Swadeshikasyaiva sharira chintanam Bhavedanantasya Shivasya Chintanam. To meditate upon the form of the Guru is equal to meditating on the form of Shiva. Swadeshikasyaiva cha nama kirtanam Bhavedanantasya Shivasya Kirtanam. And to sing praises for the Guru is like singing praise for Shiva. So this is the wonderful, the Guru principle. When it starts unfolding, then something is released. And a lot of very hard sanskaras, they just start melting away because you are flooded with love and joy. So thank you everyone for being here. Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. We will meet again tomorrow.